like Spyro? Everyone. Every single person you know. Imagine being in a situation where some broomhead came across and he was all like,
"Fuck Spyro!"
It just doesn't seem feasible, does it? Obviously we're not talking about the disgrace that is Skylanders, or even the PS2 releases. No. We're referring to the Insomniac Games golden period, when the game resided on the PlayStation 1. There were 3 excellent releases in all, and today we're going to have a look at the original, released to the sticky and smelly masses in 1998. Personally, I spent a lot of my time playing Year of the Dragon, which was the third release to you and me playing from home. I played it so much that my eyes went all funny, and then I had to go to the doctors where I received a very stern look from the uncoolest doctor ever. Actually, side note to all doctors watching, never tell a child gamer's mother to restrict their gaming time. All it results in is heartbreak and an eternal hatred towards the man. Pointless story aside, my eyes live to tell the tale, and here we are today. Let's get into the review. All this jibber jabbering, and I haven't even mentioned what kind of game Spyro is. Surely there would at least be one person out there watching this review who has no idea about the game, hence why they would be watching. I mean, that's really the whole point of our review, I guess. Spyro the Dragon is a 3D platformer, and a damn good one at that. You're the corgi-like dragon, Spyro. No, seriously, take a look at his little legs for a second. There are these 5 dragon kingdoms that all live in harmony. During a news report though, the black sheep of the dragon family, Gnasty Gork, is dissed by being called such nasty names as ugly and described as not a threat. Gnasty Gork loses his shit over such disrespect and attacks the disses and disrespecters by trapping them all in crystal. All the dragons except Spyro get affected because of how small Spyro is. From there it's up to him to rescue the dragons, and it's a classic case of little guy saving the day, which is a good message to send to kids, and all that educational crap. Along the way, Spyro comes across all sorts of wonderful and messed up enemies, like this, or that. While brutally destroying them via headbutts and fire, while also collecting the all-important gems, and just generally being a top-notch guy. All in the name of kicking Gnasty Gork's scaly ass. First off, the control scheme isn't that bad, utilising the DualShock sticks. The only gripe that I have is that instead of rotating the camera with the right stick, the game uses the L2 and R2 buttons instead. This doesn't take too long to get used to after millions of hours of playing Uncharted games, but the camera is prone to getting stuck in the geometry. A regular problem with PS1 games really, so I can't really bitch about it that much. The attacks range from an innocent headbutt to full-on scorching enemies alive, which is a tad brutal for a kids game, but hey, it was the 1990s. Apparently kids could hold their own a bit more back then than they can now. Sorry kids. From there you can do all sorts of necessary acrobats, such as jumping, gliding, and there are even a few flying levels. I know the joke is old, but how can a kids game have better flying levels than Superman 64? Seriously, how hard is it, Superman? Jeez. The health system is, for lack of any other explanation, demonic. You have this dragonfly that follows you around, and every time you're damaged, the dragonfly changes colour. If it reaches a certain colour, it dies, and then you're left with one single hit yourself until you also die. To regain your health, you have to destroy cute little animals, which then turn into butterflies. The dragonfly then eats the butterfly and regains the colour. I'm not really sure what to say about this, to be honest, but I do know there is a certain satisfaction that comes from annihilating cute little characters, which makes me feel a little bit dirty. I also want to give an honourable mention to the save system in this game. Spread out throughout the levels are the frozen dragons, in which you need to save. After rescuing them, they say something thought-provoking.
Spyro, it's great to see you, but I've got to go.
And a save point then comes available right there on the spot. They're fairly spread out and encourage you to keep playing if you die, especially since you don't have to recollect gems up to the point where you became deceased. Since I'm the type of player who gets turned off by the idea of recollecting loads of shiny and colourful items, this pleases me a lot. Overall, there is a good feeling of progression as you play this game. You always feel like you're getting stuff done. It's great because it's this type of gameplay that makes you not want to stop playing. It's continually gratifying. Usually this type of gameplay is used in a bad context for easy games, such as Farmville, but at the end of the day, it is a kids game, so the easiness is forgivable. There are a million different levels at the end of the day, and they all have their own visual pleasing qualities. One moment you're in a castle level, the next thing you know you're smack bang in the middle of the desert. It's these radically changing environments that help with the whole smooth progressing thing I just mentioned. And while we're talking about the graphics, let me just add that I think they're very pretty. I really don't think that my $10 USB capturing device from China does justice to this fact. Everything is vibrant, colourful, and just plain tasteful. All the different characters are quite original too, which is quite a mean feat when you consider how many there are. And the animations. Oh god, the animations! I feel these are something that have been done so well in this game, considering how bad animations used to be back in the day. Like, look at this flag. Look at it! Another great example is the animation that plays when you hit an invisible wall. Usually there'd be nothing there, you just slam into thin air. But the short animation goes a long way. Suddenly I'm in the Assassin's Creed Animus or something. It's attention to little details like this that make the game go that extra mile. I just want to keep giving it a thumbs up because it's just all done so darn well. I found the music neither annoying or groan-worthy, but then again it just doesn't really stand out to me. It just kind of melts into the background. The fact is, it was composed by Stuart Copeland, who's from a small little band you may have heard of, called The Police. Now I'm not saying that I didn't like the music, because obviously Mr. Copeland is a very talented man. All I'm saying is it just merges in with everything. It doesn't really stand out. But I guess at the end of the day, that may have been the whole point. There really isn't much to say about the sound effects, except that they're brilliant. Every single one of them sounds like they're crafted with the love and joy that they deserve, much like the rest of the game. What can I say? These are the sound effects of my childhood. At the end of the day though, Spyro the Dragon wins because of how 2 generations can play it. What I mean by this is that a parent can play this with their child and not vomit all over the walls. It's a very playable and enjoyable game no matter how old you are, which is what a lot of kids games are not. Most of them are colourful rubbish and do not appeal to the parent at all. I do not have kids myself and I don't really want them for another 10 or 30 years. But if I ever did, I can say that without a doubt I would want them to play something that is brain stimulating, but more importantly, entertaining. You know, something that is in their age range, but not totally crap at the same time. Spyro the Dragon easily achieves all this, and I recommend everyone give it a go. It's cheap too. My complete non-platinum copy clocked in at $4. This is a game you want to pick up in the wild though, as some eBay buy it nows I saw reached the heights of ridiculousness. The most expensive I saw was $43, which is just plain insane. If worst comes to worst though, I'm sure you know someone who owns it. I'm sure they'll lend it to you too. So guys, if you like this video and love to see more for the perfect price of $0, please hit that subscribe button. I promise that each video will be about something cool and involve no Miley Cyrus gossip whatsoever. Either way, sayonara my retro gaming friends. I'll see you next time.